All right, let's talk about a technology that is seriously poised to change music forever. Google has just launched Lyria 3, and believe me, this isn't just another cool AI experiment. It's on the verge of becoming the go-to music creation tool for, well, pretty much everyone, from social media creators to professional musicians.
So let's start with a wild thought. What if you could take any photo and it could instantly compose its own completely unique soundtrack? I know, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, but that's the core idea we're digging into today.
You might want to circle this date on your calendar, February 18, 2026. This is the moment that AI music generation is set to go from a kind of niche hobby to a core, fully integrated feature inside Google's Gemini. And that right there is a massive shift that's going to affect creators everywhere.
Okay, so how does this actually work? Let's kick things off with the big idea, how you can turn a simple thought, literally any thought, into a fully produced piece of music. This is really where the magic happens. Lyria 3 is what we call multimodal, meaning it understands way more than just words. So sure, you can give it a text prompt like a rainy evening in Tokyo, and it'll get it. But you can also upload a photo of that exact scene, or even a short video of a busy street, and it will compose a theme that perfectly captures that vibe. It sees, it understands, and then it composes.
So now that we've seen what it can do, let's pop the hood and take a look at how it works. We're going to break it down into two key parts, what I'm calling the musical brain and its incredible high-fidelity voice.
You know, Lyria 3 didn't just appear out of thin air. It's built on years of incredibly fast evolution inside the Gemini family. I mean, think about it. We went from basic multimodality in late 2023 to super specialized models like DeepThink in just over 2 years. That powerful foundation is exactly what gives Lyria its creative smarts.
Now this is fascinating. We're not even looking at music benchmarks here. We're looking at complex reasoning, advanced math, and competitive coding. The fact that Gemini 3 DeepThink can solve these kinds of logical problems is directly related to how it understands the math of music. You know, the patterns, the structures, all the things that make a composition work. A model that can reason this well can actually grasp why a certain chord progression just feels right.
So, basically, DeepThink is the musical theory brain. It's the part that gets structure, harmony, and progression, making sure the music Lyria creates isn't just a random jumble of notes, but a coherent piece that actually feels like music.
Okay, now for the voice component. The technical jump from Lyria 2 to Lyria 3 is just massive. We're talking a huge leap in audio quality, a training dataset that's 4 times bigger, and it generates music up to 3 times faster. Seriously, Lyria 3 isn't just a little better, it's playing in a completely different league.
Let's just focus on this one number for a second, 24-bit. For anyone who works with audio, you know exactly what this means. We've gone from standard CD quality to professional, studio-grade, radio-ready sound. That's the difference between a fun little demo and a track you can actually use for a real project. It is a huge deal.
So, we've got a smart brain and a professional voice. But this next part, this is where things start to feel truly futuristic. We're moving beyond just generating a music file. We're talking about interacting with music as a live, happening right now process.
Say hello to Lyria real-time. See, the old model was kind of like a AI jukebox. You put a prompt in, you get a song out. This is totally different. This is like having a creative partner that you can jam with. It's this continuous stream of music that you can shape and change on the fly.
And you can actually control this jam session through an API with parameters like these. Just imagine you're a DJ, but instead of just mixing tracks, you're live directing an AI composer. You can crank the BPM for a workout, dial up the density to make a solo more complex, or add some brightness for a little more energy. You are literally performing with the AI.
So, Lyria 3 is clearly powerful, but it's not operating in a vacuum. To really get its impact, we need to check out the competitive landscape and see where it fits in the whole AI music scene of 2026. This isn't just a tech race, it's a race to define the future of creation.
In this arena, the 2 other big names are Suno and Udio, and they each have their own distinct personality. Think of Suno as the songwriter. It's amazing at making those catchy, emotional pop songs that are perfect for social media. Udio, on the other hand, is like the sound engineer, really focused on hyper-realistic instruments and that clean, polished, studio-grade sound.
When you put them all side by side, their unique strengths really pop. Suno is your go-to for a viral hook, and it is unbelievably fast. Udio is for when you need that perfect professional sound, even if it takes a minute or 2 longer.
Lyria 3's killer feature? It's that deep integration into the Gemini ecosystem and its multimodal power. It's blazing fast, high fidelity, and you never have to leave the app you're already in. That convenience is its secret weapon.
Of course, with this explosion of new technology, some really big questions bubble up to the surface. We have to talk about the ethics, the copyright, and the authenticity of all this new music that's about to flood the world.
I mean, it brings up some fundamental questions, right? If an AI makes a song, who owns it? Who gets paid? And in a world filled with synthetic media, how do we even know what's real and what's AI-generated anymore?
But what's really fascinating here is how quickly the industry is growing up. The era of lawsuits seems to be giving way to an era of licensing. The major labels are now actually partnering with AI companies, building a legal framework for this new world. And Google has been very careful to say that Lyria was trained responsibly, likely using music it already had rights to.
And for that whole "is it safe" question, Google has this really elegant tech solution called SynthID. It's basically a digital watermark, but one you can't hear. It's woven right into the audio itself. Its real strength, though, is how tough it is. It's designed to survive being compressed or even recorded from a speaker. This lets anyone verify if a piece of audio was made by Google's AI, which brings some much-needed transparency to the table. We've gone through the tech, the competition, and the rules. So now, let's zoom back out and think about what all of this really means for the future of creativity itself.
The road ahead looks incredible. We can definitely expect to move beyond 30-second clips to full-length songs. And imagine smart guitars or keyboards with Lyria built right in, acting as your personal, responsive backup band. For the entire creator economy, this is a complete game changer, a way to get instant, royalty-free, high-quality soundtracks for any video, stream, or presentation you can think of.
Ultimately, what we're watching happen is the democratization of music creation. What once took expensive software, instruments, and years of practice is now becoming a creative utility, something accessible to absolutely anyone with an idea. And that leaves us with one last, fascinating question to chew on. We always ask if AI is going to replace artists, but maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe the future isn't about human versus machine, but about a new kind of collaboration. So will the next big hit be composed by a human or with one?